The Cuphead show is a new Netflix original and is based off the popular video game Cuphead. So when it comes to video game adaptations, whether it's from a video game into a movie or from a video game into a TV show, I'm usually pretty skeptical with it, but recently there's been a little bit of an uprise. There's been a lot of really amazing video game products being turned into some pretty awesome TV shows or movies. The first one that I actually remember really enjoying was Sonic the Hedgehog in theaters, and I ever since then, video game properties in terms of adapting it into media has become really improved. Something just happened where all of a sudden video game adaptations started to be really damn good. The first example that I remember hearing about, and I never watched the show, please comment down below if I should, is Arcane. I heard the adaptation for that, which it's adapted from League of Legends, was exceptional, and I know. I still haven't watched it, I really do, and I'll probably get around to it. Another show that I heard was absolutely phenomenal was Castlevania. So recently, video game adaptations have been getting a lot of really good attention, and that's a good thing. I'm really glad people and filmmakers in general are finding ways to finally rightly adapt video game products, but there are still some that definitely worry me. And from the trailers of the Cuphead show, I was really excited. This show looked very good. It looked very truthful to its source material, and it seemed like they were going in a direction that I wanted them to go into, which was kind of recreating 1930s cartoons like Tom and Jerry and Looney Tunes. It kind of has that entire tone to it, It feels like that. It feels like an old 1930s cartoon, and I was really excited to check that out. And to my surprise, it was even better than I expected. This is a flat-out 30s cartoon. It's nothing else. It doesn't try to shoehorn different modern-day technology into it. It's very much an adaptation of the time period of which it is representing. It knows exactly what it is, and with that, I really dug this show. Now, I've never done a TV show review. This show is 12 episodes long, each of them 15 minutes. It's a really short series to get through, and it's wonderful because it flies by so fast, and it doesn't take up too much of your time. It takes up the right amount of your time. So those are kind of my general thoughts. I'm going to get into the pros I have with it. I don't know if I have any cons, but I did write down a few potential cons, but we'll get there when we get there. So let's start with the pros. The first thing I want to talk about is the animation. It is mind-blowing. The animation here is exceptional. They do this thing where it's fully animated, right? But then they mix it with some really well-built small sets that they use, or it kind of looks like, I'm not entirely sure, but they kind of look like clay sets or claymation sets. Maybe it's really just CGI, and I have no idea, but the animation blends so well into it that I can't really tell, and it kind of gives it a distinct feel. And I really did appreciate that. There was a lot of time and effort put into the animation here, and that goes with everything else I'm about to talk about. They put in a lot of time and effort into the show, and you don't really get a lot of that these days, especially when it comes to animation. Usually they just kind of barf out animation TV shows or movies on a Netflix or anything like that. I haven't really seen an amazing animated feature or TV show in quite a while, so this was really nice to see. Second thing I want to talk about is Cuphead and Mugman themselves. Are they charming? Yes. They are very charming and very likable, and they have just a very brotherly love with each other that really helps with kind of the chemistry between all of the characters, and it feels so authentic and it feels very, very deserved. One way you can tell this show apart from other shows like Looney Tunes and Tom and Jerry is the fact that it does have an overarching story, which is really interesting to me. And it does it in very like little bits and pieces here. Things kind of start to come together towards the end of the show, and it does set up for a season 2. No spoilers here, don't worry, I'm not here to do that, but the show has a very good way of kind of piecing everything together and also just leaving time for a lot of fun and a lot of character development and moments, even if they are just overall skits. It does feel like there are a lot of really amazing character moments and a pretty good overarching story. I mean, it doesn't explore it a lot, but it is important in many episodes. They have a good mix of the story itself with the just kind of chill back episodes where you're just kind of hanging out with these two characters, and it's very well done, and I found it very charming and hilarious, and the slapstick was very, very good, very, very funny. Definitely some of the best slapstick I've seen in quite a while. And it's just, overall just a very charming and likable show, and it's not really much, like, it's definitely just a show you can sit down and watch and not really think about a lot of problems, or it's one of those shows that it's hard to nitpick because it's just so charming and laid back, and there's not really a lot to talk about in terms of negative or just things that it does wrong, because it knows exactly what it is, and that's the best compliment I can give a show like this. I think that's it. I don't think I have any negatives with the show. I thought it was a really good time. I definitely suggest checking it out when it hits Netflix on the 18th of February. And it's a show that I think a lot of people will be happy with, and I hope they do end up renewing for a second season. I'd love to see where they take this story. And I'd love to see if they could, next season maybe make it a little more story-centric. So with all that being said, I'm going to give the Cuphead show an A. I thought this show was pretty magnificent. I really hope you guys check it out. And if you do, please let me know what you think. I'd love to hear your thoughts, whether you like it, you dislike it, you hate it, I don't care. Or if you're in the middle, even. Just tell me what you thought, leave a like, and I will see you guys in the next video.